for the first time, I would like to introduce Daniel Haryodiningrat. He is the director of Museum Ullen Sentalu in Yogyakarta. And Pak Daniel, you have about half an hour to deliver your presentations. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ibu Asti, and hello for everyone, especially for Pak Yos. I'm very familiar with Pak Yos Parbudun, yeah, and Ibu Wiwi and others. Yeah, I like to start share screen. Wait a second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, without further ado, I'd like to start the topic for our webinar today. Since the title is about museology, so I try to connect with the museology theory that I got during my college years. Yeah, this the landmark of our museum in Kaliurang. I will tell more about this museum and collection. That wait a second, let me take the hour so I have not go over. Yeah, now 7:05. Yeah, Ullen Sentalu is the acronym for Ulating Blencong Sejatining Tataran Lumaku. This is not en français. Some visitors sometimes think that there's French or habla Español. No, that's the acronym for the Javanese words. The Blencong is the light for the wayang kulit, the shadow puppet performance, and I like Blencong more than lighting that now use the electric lighting, because Blencong, when the wind blow, the effect will getting bigger and getting more lively. So the meaning of the Ulating Blencong Satine Tataraning Lumaku, the light of the Blencong is like our pet for walk through. Yeah, and we also set up our museum as the not only Japanese art and culture museum, but art, culture, and nature museum. There are only 3 right now in Java, and I believe they will join more with the Art, Culture, Nature Museum. This one is East Java is Museum Panji, and in West Java is New Art Museum in Bandung. So our museum is in what is Kaliurang, with Mount Merapi, Pelawangan, and Turgo, so the nature surrounding. And sometimes the visitors said that like forest museum. It's the trees still remain good over there, and it's very good for visitor to enjoy in our museum.
Pak Daniel, excuse the PowerPoint. You share screen now?
I share screen.
Okay. Is on my computer. I can see your.
I think everybody see the share screen. Not yet.
Yeah, but can you enlarge it? Because I also see your desktop. I see your.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh, what about the others? Do you see also the page?
Yeah, can it be made full screen, Pak Daniel?
Now is the whole on the screen. How can
yes.
We also see the thumbnails.
Thumbnails. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Wait a second. Share screen. So I minimize the view, or this one still?
Yes. Now it's it's better. Thank you.
Oh, it's better?
Yes, yes. Now it's correct.
Okay. But oh, through this, yeah. You can see the whole, yeah. Let me start from beginning. Yeah, this is the beginning, the landmark of our museum. And the next is the meaning of our museum name. You can see all clearly, yeah. I'd like to continue. Yeah. And I like to start with the first theory of the museum. At that time, it's like what is by empirical. It's a box within box, what we call. It start from vitrine, and we considered the room, and we considered for the compound and the area, and so on. Yeah. The vitrine, of course, for the collection. The room is a display. For example, if we display about the Javanese, we cannot decorate the room with the Balinese or Sundanese, so we must fill it with the Javanese. And the compound, if some visitors quite surprised and happy that we have several architectural styles like Japanese or European, I mean, especially the Dutch colonial house during the old time. And we also consider about our area in Kaliurang. This not only mountain area, but we try to make related with our museum. And after that, we start with our district, the city, and at the end, we talk about how we make a positioning our museum in the Jogja and also in Indonesia and also in Southeast Asia and so on. Regarding the area, we are in the north. It's in the foothill of the Mount Merapi, surrounding by trees, and we have what is a tagline while Merapi is sleeping, so we can enjoy much. If Merapi get active, yeah, of course we have to be evacuated, and since the mitigation now is very good, so we don't worry much, not like the old times. It's always come suddenly. And in the north, this what we call is new Mataram. Mataram now is Mataram Islam. They have what they call is macro-cosmology between north and south. The south is the South Sea, and the Kraton, the palace, is in the center with the Lingga Tugu, the tower in the north, and Yoni, the woman, it's Panggung Krapya in the south. That's exactly 25 kilometers to Tugu, 25 kilometers, 2 kilometers to Tugu, 25 to Gunung Merapi, and 2 kilometers to the Panggung Krapya or Yoni, the symbol of the woman, and 25 to South Sea. That's now what now we try to bring to UNESCO to be registered for the heritage about macro-cosmology. And regarding the old Mataram, the Hindu Buddha, we are in the center. The west is Borobudur, and the east is Prambanan, and we have a special road along from Borobudur to our museum, what we call is a Salak Pondoh plantation. You know, it's like snake fruits, yeah. And to Prambanan is with what is a rice field plantation. So it's like Moses break up the sea. So we all, the left and the right, it's like we walk in the rice field plantation. So we are in the middle of the Prambanan and Borobudur from the old Mataram and in the north of New Mataram. And we specialize in noble woman, and we what we call is like hub, because we can connect Kraton Jogja, Kraton Solo, Puro Pakualam, and Puro Mangkunegaran with the story from a noble woman. And we emphasize more the intangible heritage about the story, about the ethics and everything that the queen or the princess developed during that time. So we can connect all the new Mataram now in our museum. And we make also link for the old Mataram, it's not only display with the some artifacts. We choose the small sculptures. We try to make what now we have to move further, not only box within box, but musealization. That's what I learned from Van Mes, from Rainbird Academic, and also Virgo, I believe, from Peter Virgo from Smithsonian. Yeah, sorry, I a little bit forget. And when we make a link, a lot of theories include like outer seat. This from Van Mes and Parega. The frame is from Derrida, and about habitat and venue and so on. I will describe later. So we have old Mataram and new Mataram now. We make a link. And after hub and link, we start to place our museum as venue, not only like sanctuary or like the place with the artifacts and only tangible heritage, but we try to make live. So we have several events, but there's some big events with Dunia Batik, the World Batik, during the nomination of the Batik as a UNESCO heritage. At that time, is several places in Jogja to be as a host for the World Batik. But during the World Archaeological Wonder, we are very happy and very honored that only Borobudur in the west, our museum in the center, and Prambanan in the east, and so on. We have many events, and at the time we start to not only just venue, we try to make a MICE, like meeting, incentive, conference and exhibition, so national and international. After we have several very serious events as a venue, we try to go develop with the cultural event. So we develop Asia 3. At the time, we start with only 3 nations, Japan, Korea, and our Indonesia, and 3 also means is plantation. Yeah, plant is always in the mountain area. And in the later years, it's about 24 countries is always participate. Netherlands always participate, US, Russia, and we have several countries that always participate in our cultural event. Yeah, this dance group from Singapore, and this from Japan, and this from Lebanon, and we also have from Greek, from many. It's a very great event catering. Yeah, this from Jogja. And now it's about the new theory, not only box within box and venue. We try to take a new museology. That's the paradigm or the theory from French Nouvelle Museology, something like that. Yeah, that's it's inevitably process, because if we stick in the old museology paradigm or practice, I think we cannot catch up with the new development. And we emphasize in museology, that's a prime philosophy, not only about how to display, that's a museography. So the inside, everything must be renewed. And some of the theory of the new museology is just follow the path, and some must be updated, and some like a mutation is changed into the new type. Yeah, this only review that the museum first is like a temple, sacred to conserve the sacred place. It's like in the temple, yeah, in the candi. Is we always candi Perwara to place the some ceremonial things, yeah. And the second is like Wunder Karma, is the room that make everybody amazed, And this only, the orientation is pride. Look, I have like this, I have a unicorn, I have big crocodile, something like that. This only for pride. And during the Afklarung, we have to display everything, not only for segmented our friend, our collector or something like that, but must be to the people. So that's object oriented. And during the positivism, we have to provide some information, not only to show the aesthetic of the object. And the later on is we have to consider the societal oriented for the people. So the context, the role, and later on we develop into participatory, especially for the kids to take active role in with the collection, with the story. Yeah, this only illustration during the first stage of the museum. The second Wunderkammer, something like that. It's a lot of the objects, and during the Afklarung, yeah, still like a cabinet of curiosity, something like that. Yeah, start with positivism. This information more to take place, not only object as what is the main topic in the museum, and societal, of course, about information. Yeah, this the illustration of the during the old times only to collect, documenting, preservation, research, communicate, and exhibit. It's not make a interdependency. It's very linear, and some leftist theories like Marx said that this for elites value, and this Foucault said like this only for dominant group. It's not for all people can understand. The museum Jack Borobudur said like or only for educated people or cultural capital, something like that, that not everybody can enjoy. Yeah, I will not describe detail since I shared this theory, but I think it's easy to understand. The problem of the museology is how to encode the object and how the visitor can decode that what we try to explain. And later on, yeah, the latest theory that we adopt is about musealization, something like that. I better to take with the big picture. Yeah, this the from Van Mes from Rinwood, that the original diagram, something like that. But I try to make the easy thing. First object is the primary context, maybe only economic value, like a Ganesha. Oh, that's very beautiful. But when Ganesha come into our museum, we have to make a new meaning. So what we call is not only primary context, but museology context, and with the value, museology value, and we have to relate it with our vision and mission of our museum.
Pak Daniel,
yeah,
you still have 10 minutes. Probably, can you tell more about how you implement this into your museums, and you tell more specifically about Museum Ullen Sentalu, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now it's about how to implement the musealization. It's not only give the meaning of every iconographies or the semiotics or hermeneutic of the meaning of the sculpture. Yeah, this something like this. We also emphasize to tangible the intangible thing, like this, the costume of the intangible paisagan, the wedding haute couture. We try we translate into the painting so we can tell more about the meaning of the costume more freely. Otherwise, we put the person to standing, it's not it cannot work. And this only the few sample. The real one is something like this. It's very detailed with the story. Yeah, and the very latest now, we not only make a tangible the intangible, but we make alive now. Is for example like this. First, the pies is like for wedding gown, and we describe more free time with the painting, and later on we make a dance. Yeah, it's the idea of the from Kraton Solo Bedoyo. We make it into picture, so we can add the Queen of Swords as the supervisor of the dance, because art can do no wrong. Yeah, so like this, and later on we make a Bedoyo Ullen. So we make a life, not only with the picture. And not only stop with the Bedoyo, also with the mask. And yeah, later on, we not only show for the visitors and certain audience, but we make a networking. So we make an international mass festival with the Solo, Malang, and Ubud, and quite success until now. Yeah, it's every year. Even during the COVID, we make through the internet. Yeah, this the 4 cities and sometimes 5 cities with the Bandung, with Padang Panjang. We have an international mass festival, and this some picture during the we always include the kid around our museum. That's our stakeholders. Yeah, it is in Solo in Pura Mangkunegaran. This in Malang with what is Museum Panji, and this in Bali. And not only the performance, but also exhibition, and also workshop, and some youth like to painting the mask. Yeah, and also some artists, because Jogja a lot of artists also display and can sell the painting. Yeah, it's not only about the mask or about the some object like that, but we specialize in dance, and we work together with EC Solo, and that's very amazing. It's about 6,000 dancers around. At the time it's 3,000, yeah. Later on 6,000. Yeah, it is dance in Solo, in our place, in several places. And this during the World Dance Day in our open stage. This Panata, no, very much. It's from Nias.
That's me.
I love the song. It's very beautiful. And this from Dayak Sintang, and the audience is we have a place the sitting, but this because of come more, so it's not tertib, not orderly. Everybody watching. And this from Papua, the dance of the Cendrawasih. This really beautiful. With the megalithicum tradition, with megalith. And also we work together to show the wayang. At the time, it's Berkeley comes and we make a show. We show the wayang beber, and Berkeley show the regular wayang. This wayang beber by pointing the picture and telling the story. And this the Berkeley docent, lecturer, play the gamelan. And we extend, since we are very fortunate in the center of the Prambanan and Borobudur, so we make a bigger program with the Central Java tour. I at that time we can still climb in the Borobudur. Every year we have about 50 students come, and also we bring some experts. So we take experts like Ibu Kartika Avandi, and during last time with Bapak Nyoman Warta to tell about how the concept. And they also make batik, very like, even though only just scarf, not the thing. And this very special. I asked the students not only what the Toffler said is the first era is agriculture, the second is industry, and the third information, and I keep continue the later is experience, and the very latest stage is adventure. So we eat together, and I can see whose student is very egoist, very naughty, always take the delicious meat, and who giving for other students. So this very great experience altogether. I think that's all my presentation. So basically we make a life our museum, not only with the collection, but how to bring alive to make a connect with people.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people will, especially the youth, it's not interesting only to see, because they can see through internet and everywhere. Thank you.
Impressive, Pak Daniel. But before you, I continue the program. Please mention three biggest challenging in managing your museums, because we also want to hear what the dynamics, the ups and downs, not only the ups but also the downs. Maybe just limit into three the most challenging problems that you face with your staff, and probably also tell us about how big your museums, how many people work full time or volunteers. Thank you.
Oh yeah, our staff is around 60s and divided among the researchers in our secretariat and educational tour and what is conservation and several others. But the most challenge is since we are like in forest, so we have to make a need, because otherwise there's many leaves scattered around and we must make a clean. And the second problem is during the evening, these fogs always come along, but surprise, surprise, they like with the fog. So we don't have any problem with the fog. Yeah, of course, with the raining, more raining in the mountain area. So when we have performance, we have to choose, like in Prambanan, what season is the best to show the opening stage performance, something like that.
Okay, that's the challenge from the nature, but from the management point of view?
Management, we are very lucky. We are in the student city. It's a surplus, plenty of the smart students that we can hire. So, and we just give what is challenge to the students, so we can develop several others. Right now, we will develop the new what is not only Mataram. We try to back to Medan and also go to Mojopahit, of course, with collaboration. Yeah, and I already mentioned with Pak Yos Barbeden that I like to start with the Javaman, the Dubois era. It's maybe we can connect. That's really challenge right now, that because all the fossils is become mineral, not we can take only the all the DNA, but your Jordin, the who's in the Leiden from Dubois, Jorgen, we might work with the Jorgen to how to bring up about the clue of the Pithecanthropus javanicus at the time for Dubois.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Daniel. There are some museum experts from the Netherlands join this webinar this afternoon. London time or evening time in Jakarta. So probably during the discussion, they could help you with the names that you try to find out in expert in Leiden or maybe other things. So please, if you want to discuss things about your museum, so this is the moment. I also would like to welcome all our friends from Indonesia and from Netherlands who joined. Thank you, Max and Petra and Saula from the embassy, and also some friends from Topan Museums, and Jos, of course, who knows everybody in the museum world in Indonesia. Thank you very much, Pak Daniel also. Now we are going to watch a very short 4 minutes video about Museum Ullen Sentalu, because it's beautiful, and especially for those who never been to Museum Ullen Sentalu will help you to get an impressions. Ibu Wiwi, are you ready to play, please? We cannot hear you. You have to unmute.
Sorry, it's still in Indonesian, but hopefully you can understand, because this is about...
Yeah, it's only 4 minutes. Okay, please go ahead, Ibu Wiwi.
Yeah, I'm looking for the...
We named our area as Heavenly Hills because it's really heavenly. Hopefully someday somehow you can visit us.
Yeah, beautiful.
The meaning of the text of the movie is about heavenly.
Yeah. Are you ready, Bu Bibi?
Probably
Semua
it's a
selalu
bit,
berangkat dari sebuah keluarga yang
a bit slow.
pendidikan. Kemudian kami
Not yet.
didukung oleh
I don't see the film.
Mataram yang ada.
Yeah.
You may
I
share
see
the
don't
I
see
screen.
the
see
film either.
your computer.
I know. On my screen, it is already playing. I'm so sorry.
You have to share screen.
I am sharing screen.
No, not yet.
No, not yet, right? Yeah.
Maybe later on. It's okay.
Semua selalu berangkat dari sebuah keluarga yang pendidikan. Kemudian kami didukung oleh para kerabat dinasti Kerajaan Mataram yang ada 4.
No, we don't see it.
We don't see.
Para kerabat tersebut
Probably you can send it the link in the chat
bukan koleksi dari
so the participant can
pesawat
can play them.
dari istana Mataram.
Okay. It will be put in the Google Classroom, but it's not in there yet. So probably
It's okay.
after the
It's
webinar.
okay. Now I will welcome Nata'alui Duha. Excuse me if I don't pronounce your name correctly.
Shortly Nata. Nata. It's
Nata, yeah.
Yeah, Nata
Like most Indonesians with nicknames. So Pak Nata is the director of Museum Pusaka Nias, or the Nias, the Museum of Nias Heritage. I think you are the oldest community museums in Indonesia, which is
I
very
don't know.
special. Yes, at least in my opinion, probably other experts know better than me. Please correct me later, but I know that you are, one of the longest survived community museums, but not only survive, also very professionally managed community museum. I'm very impressed when I visited your museums, but also during our context in the last 30 years. Your museum show a high professional standard. And please share with us now not only success stories, but also please, this is an opportunity, I think, to update us in the Netherlands about your visions, your programs, but also your future plans. Please go ahead, Pak Nata.
Thank you so much, Bu Hasti. Let me share screen my PowerPoint. If you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, perfect. Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. From the island of Nias, I have to greet you or convey a very special greetings in this island. Ya'aho. You can say also Ya'aho. This is special greetings for any time. Good evening or good morning or good day. I will directly talk about Nias Heritage Museum, Museum Pusaka Nias. What challenges we face as a private and community museum. As you know, that the founder of this museum is Father Johannes Hemmerle. Father Johannes Hemmerle was born in Germany, actually, but he lived in Nias very long time. Currently, his position is chairman of Nias Heritage Foundation, Yayasan Pusaka Nias. Yayasan Pusaka Nias is legal institution which manage the Museum Pusaka Nias. Let me introduce some information about our museum. Museum Pusaka Nias or Nias Heritage Museum is located actually in the town of Gunung Sitoli, Nias Island, North Nias. This is a very small island, but still in North Sumatra. The island of Nias is called Taneniha, and the population approximately 800,000 people. At least a quarter of the population live outside of the island. They are working in the big city and working in oil palm in Sumatra. Nias people or Niasan tribe is called Ononiha, means the children of human being or child of man. So very interesting, child of man. The island is consisting of 4 kabupaten or autonomy districts: Nias, Nias Utara in the north, and Nias in the south, Nias Selatan in the south, Nias Barat in the west, and city of Gunung Sitoli, where our museum is located. One of the oldest name of the island is Hulu Solaya Laya, the dancing island, since it is often shaken by the earthquake and hit by tsunami. It is located 125 kilometers southwest of the coastal city of Sibolga and is the largest of chain of islands parallel to the western of Sumatra, Indonesia. You can see from the map where the Nias Island is from Sumatra and also from Indonesia. More information about our museum. Museum Pusaka Nias is managed under legal institution of Nias Heritage Foundation. And the YPN or the foundation was established in 1991, starting collecting artifacts in 1971. And then we tried to set temporary exhibit in 1995. And we build the main building of the museum in 1995. And we inaugurate the museum, well, even though we already operated the museum, but we inaugurate 2008. The main objective of Nias Heritage Foundation is to establish a museum as a cultural center, cultural preservation of both tangible and intangible cultural heritage of Nias. We have now 6,400 objects in our museum. The major collection is stone, wooden sculpture, and also basketry, weavings, potteries, weapons, ceramics, and traditional art and architecture. This is our staff member in our museum. We have now 12 permanent staff, including 2 security guards, laborers on contract, 3 persons, part-timer 28, and carpenters 5. So we are now working, the workers are 48 persons. Today, after the pandemic, we have very small visitors. We still feel that also because of the economy of the local people. We have 120 each day visitors. So we can say we have weekly visitors 840 until 1,000 people who visit this museum. Before pandemic, we have 1,200 to 1,500 people every week. Frankly speaking, from the beginning, this museum was started without well planning, but merely based on concern to protect the cultural object of Nias ethnic from the illegal trading by illegal merchant. This is the simple reason of Father Johannes, the founder of the museum, why he started collecting the cultural artifacts of Nias and building a museum. The main activities of our museum is the first, collecting Nias cultural artifacts, gathering information on Nias history, culture, and various oral tradition through recordings, audio and audiovisual recording. Setting permanent exhibit and also temporary or thematic exhibit. Facilitating various research, publishing Nias culture books, and managing also library. Organizing cultural education to shape the character of the young generation of Nias, especially school students of elementary school, junior and senior school. Revitalizing and preserving traditional art and music. We also organize cultural education. We also facilitating and assist communities in the traditional village to protect and maintain their cultural assets and manage their village become a unique cultural tourism destination. In collaboration with national and international organizations and other parties, we have rehabilitated and reconstructed 378 traditional houses of Nias. You can see from the list our partner and also the donor who are working together with us to rehabilitate and also how to maintain the cultural asset in the village. This is example of a traditional house we rehabilitate and we reconstruct in the village. Also, the house with the megalith in the front of the house. So house and megalith, because this is a very important cultural asset in the island of Nias. This is also another house in different place. This is also a new house, but we reconstruct the big house here, Omosebua, in the village of Ilmuregraya, and we try to manage the village also to encourage the communities to manage their village, become a tourist destination and a very unique place for tourism. We also cultivate local medicinal plants for traditional medicine. For this one, we try to find all the flora and very, very typical flora in the island, and then we try to plant around the museum, especially that usually used for traditional medicine. Today, we also so active to campaign planting rare local trees and also other flora of Nias to protect the natural heritage of Nias. Because we realize that, for example, if we want to promote to rebuild the traditional house, the wooden house, so we have to plant the very good quality trees too. We also active to campaign for protection and conservation of endangered species fauna in the island of Nias. Nias hill myna also very rare, and today we try to campaign and also to educate the local people to protect the animals, very endangered species in the island of Nias. So we manage also a cultural, natural recreation park around the museum. This is our main program or our activity that we do every day here in the museum. Now I'm going to talk about the challenge as a private and community museum. The founder of this museum is Father Johannes from Germany. He is a member of Capuchin congregation. His congregation gave him a permit at the time to build and develop a museum, but not financial assistance. All is self-effort. From the beginning, Father Johannes relied on his schoolmates and friends from his own village to build and support the operational cost of this museum. Parallel to the time, all of his friends who were the same age as him died. Pastor Johannes' brothers and family are also gone. The situation has become a problem for the Nias Heritage Museum until right now. During that time, and because of the situation, the museum management, is working hard to build the museum financial independence with various small business, from entrance ticket, from visitors, cafe, meeting rooms, selling traditional medicine herbs, managing the traditional house and empty rooms in the museum as lodging for visitors and other business. The result is, until right now, gradually, Nias Heritage Museum revenue has reached 70 to 75 to cover operational costs, but still the deficit is 25 to 30%. Operational costs are sought to be suppressed, especially for employee salaries, which are still far from prosperous expectation. So the salary of the worker, the labor, is not so important here. So we try to make it a very simple, very small. The future life of the workers is not prepared by the foundation and also by the management. When they are old, after serving and spending their life to maintain the sustainability and the development of the museum. This is a hard challenge in the future to prepare human resource who will give the heart to continue the mission of preserving Nias heritage through this museum. The culture will be live if the humans also live, and the drivers of the cultural preservation is life. This is according to us. Another challenge is local government suspect at the beginning thinking about the hidden mission of the Catholic Church and foreign citizen. Local government suppose that the museum is merely a money maker company. Local communities misunderstanding the goal of the museum, so they do not love the museum. Local communities do not donate artifacts on one side, and they ignore them on the other side until they are broken and disappear. This is very contradiction. How to change the situation? How to change the opinion, also the behavior of the community and also the stakeholder? We start with carrying out a 6 months training for local youth in culture and art and tourism. Then the people who finish their study from the workshop, from the training, and become our communicator to talk about the function, the role of the museum, and what they get from the museum. We carry out cultural festival, contests, and auction of the traditional art. Let me talk about this one because Ibu Hasti still in Indonesia at the time. The cultural festival was also supported by Sumatra Heritage Trust, currently Beranda Warisan Sumatra, which was led by Hasti Tarekat at the time. At the opening, I wrote this situation. At the opening ceremony of the activities, Hasti Tarekat gave an extraordinary speech and appealed to stakeholders to support the Nias Heritage Museum. And it was only after the event, the region Bupati Nias, Dr. Randos Haji Jakaria Lafau, gave a very small support by building a good road access to the museum. This is very fantastic for us. In the beginning, the local government didn't support the presence of this museum, but these activities were successful to gradually change the mindset of the local people and local government toward the museum. Let me show you the photo of a very old photo of Ibu Hasti Tarekat and also the Bupati and also Father Johannes, the founder of the museum, and the leader of the Capuchin order or congregation here in the cultural festival. How to change the situation? We also published a newsletter, a very simple newsletter, Media Warisan, the medium of heritage. We provide any information about heritage activity in the island. And from this one, then people try to understand, people know what we are doing in the museum. We also carry out workshops for promoting herbal medicine and local wisdom, traditional healing. We invite people, the traditional medicine practitioner in the village, and we invite them to share their knowledge to young generation in the museum, and then they feel that their knowledge about traditional healing is very important for the community, and this facilitating by museum. We try to reach the community in the village and promote traditional architecture of Nias in the connection to the earthquake phenomena and the symbol of identity of Nias. This program is shifting the public mindset. Local communities see and feel the role of the museum as cultural and education center for Nias. Let me talk about why also we try to focus on a traditional house of Nias, why we try to promote the vernacular architecture. We try to choose this one because through traditional house, the house of Nias, we can preserve local wisdom in architecture. If this opportunity open and we try to preserve, we promote, we build again the house, so it means we open also work opportunity for carpenters, for the expert. The wooden house is connecting to the environmental issue. So if we build the house, it means that we have to protect also our environment. We have to plant the trees, especially a very good quality trees, so we can use it in the future for housing. Through this house also, we can campaign renewable material for housing or dwelling. And through the house, reconstruction and rebuilding the house, promoting the traditional architecture, we also maintain tradition and also belief, primal religion. So during the process, from the starting until the house completed, many steps of tradition, many tradition we have to practice. This house is a medium to express art through carving house component. And through this house also, we strengthen the social interaction and cooperation, how people working together help each other to take the material, and they also help from neighbor to they help the neighbor how to transport the material of the house. From building and promoting also traditional architecture, we also protect the language. We preserve the language, especially terminology of the house component and process. And we also preserve and protect the uniqueness of traditional villages as living museum. So that is the reason why we try to choose the house, we focus to the house also to be preserved. We also try to care for megalith because this is a very important tangible culture or artifact or object in culture of Nias. This is a symbol of status and also a very important how to show the life of Nias people in the past, how to see their life, how to see their quality, and what they did in the past, so we can recognize from the stone. We also do workshop and cultural education for school students. This is the way how to change the mindset, also the behavior, so people can see the function and the role of the museum. And the first, we start with 1,020 and 250 elementary school and junior school students and also teachers. We invite them to come to the museum and then we give them some lecture. The content is lecture on Nias culture and natural heritage, enjoying and exploring the exhibition in the museum with adequate explanation from guide and cultural educator. And they also, we also let the participant to recognize the flora of Nias, which used in traditional healing, introducing and practicing also traditional music. And this is very good for the children. They enjoy. Look at the picture. They very enjoy how to play traditional music. And also we let the school kids to recognize the local fauna and also rare local animal.
Pak Nata,
Yes.
could you speed up, please?
Yes. Preserving cultural music and musical instruments through cultural and art group activity in the museum. Now we have a group, special group in the museum who come here twice a week, having training, and then they learn how to dance, how to play the music instrument. They are coming from junior school, and then they back to their school. When they back to their school, then they become a trainer in their school. And when they finish their study, and then they go to university and they become a trainer when they join the group. So this is a very good way how to transmit the knowledge of music and also dance. We also provide some lecture for NGO and international organization, especially after the enormous disaster, earthquake, and tsunami. in 2005. We also facilitate the research on Nias culture, ethnology, anthropology, archaeology, and architecture, even DNA of Nias. What result we get from the activity we do, especially the broader community members see and feel the role of the museum. From the hate become love. So at the first time, they don't know the goal of the museum, what the museum is, because museum is something new for them, even also government. And now the broader community, they feel the role of the museum. Local community come and visit the museum. The youth of Nias join every museum program, very enthusiastic. Local government starts giving a small aid by opening an access permanent road to the museum. Local people start loving the museum. This is a very important for us because only when they love the museum, they will come to the museum. What do we do also during the pandemic? Because this is a very difficult situation for us as a private museum and community museum. The first activity we do is we try to approach, to make communication.
Yes.
We try to build communication with Nias diaspora throughout Indonesia. We feel that Museum Pusaka Nias is for Nias people. So we try to find any organization of Nias people in Indonesia and we try to build a communication with them. We also build communication with any organization of Nias and of Nias people, conducting cultural education through cultural and historical webinar about Nias, because at the time we cannot meet. So we try to organize webinar and Duminar. It's something new for us in the island of Nias. Yeah, because we have to adjust ourselves to use the Zoom and also webinar. And participants pay to help the Nias Heritage Museum. So they give contribution. They don't give to, let's say, small than free, but free to pay. How much they pay. So we try to communicate with an organization of Nias. We call Pemuda Peduli Nias. Then they try to help us to organize the webinar because we are not familiar how to use Zoom at the time and also webinar. Then they facilitate us. Then we can get small money, so we still alive until right now during the pandemic. Not only one, but also we collect from many people, from many parties. A very impressed one is Balen Rauno, Children House Community in Teluk Dalam, and university student from the South. At the time, I tried to talk in radio and also in social media, and they hear about this one, and they try to organize event, contest, singing contest in the village.
Yes.
And they collect small money from the community in the village just to help the museum, because they say, museum is our museum, not because of the big money. Whatever small money, we have to save the Museum Pusaka Nias.
Yes.
For me, it's
Pak Nata, could you speed up, please? How many slides do you have still?
Yeah, this is will be end.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and also Association of Nias People of Indonesia. So this is also our strategy during the pandemic. And during the pandemic also, you see from the slide, then we get small money from donation from local people and some organization, and also from international or foreign organization like Prince Claus Fund.
Okay.
So,
well, I think we can. Oh, this is thank you.
This
already.
is the end. This is
okay.
the end. Yeah. So we have to learn from the pandemic. Pandemic of COVID-19 has given us a good lesson learned. When the COVID-19 pandemic occurs, the main concern is the health workers, nurse, doctor, and medical personnel. Because if they are not safe, it is impossible to save the infected victims of the coronavirus. Which is more important, human or culture preservation? This is a question for us as a worker in the museum to preserve the culture. To save the human or to save the culture. Thank you so much to hear me.
Thank you. Thank you, Pak Nata. That's impressive. For all the participants, friends and colleagues from the Netherlands or Indonesia or other places, please, if you would like to ask, raise your hand, or you can also write in the chat room. And for the time being, probably you can finish the share screen, Pak Nata. Okay.
This is about the museum compound lot and also another photo of our activities.
Yes. And we also share the video about Museum Pusaka Nias in the chat room. So there is a link to see the video. It's an 8 minutes video, so you can get better impressions about all the stories that Pak Nata has shared with us. Thank you, Pak Nata.
Thank you so much.
And for the time being, we welcome feedbacks, input, or your experience or your expertise, please to the speakers. And for Pak Daniel and Pak Nata, there is a general questions from Yos about what is your connections of your museums with the Museum Nasional in Jakarta. Maybe a quick answer, please. Nata, do you want to start? Yeah, because you are now.
Okay. What is our connection
with Museum Nasional? No connection or not? Because, well, I mean, Museum Nasional is under government, and you are community museum. If there is no connection, this is fine.
But we still have communication because if you are talking about the object or cultural object of Nias in Netherlands, and then I myself is active to talk about this to the management of National Museum Jakarta, Ibu Erna and other people who I met, and we are talking about this. We got a lot of artifacts from Netherlands, and at the time I proposed to put some in our museum in the island of Nias, but this is not easy because this is private museum and they have a very I cannot follow.
Okay, thank you very much. Pak Daniel, would you like to explain what is the connections? Could you stop your share screen, Pak Nata? Yeah. Pak Daniel.
Yes. I will stop share.
Yes. Pak Daniel, would you like to answer?
Sure, yeah. Right now, we still wait for the new states of the Museum Nasional, what we call as BLU, become like privatization of the Museum Nasional, and the director Ibu Sri try to make a lot of advance. So like us from private museum, we are ready to collaborate, but we are waiting for the process internal first, because they have a huge collection in everything. So when they ask us to make share exhibition together, we are ready, but we wait for that process first. Yeah.
Okay. Jos also has the second questions, but I think it would be nice if Jos directly say to you. Jos probably would be nice to show up on the webinar directly to ask the questions to Pak Daniel and Pak Nata.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Well, of course, there is a lot of discussion about restitution, both in the Netherlands and in Indonesia. And I'm wondering whether you have any wishes towards us in the Netherlands of objects or collections which you really could use in your museum work.
Me first, yeah, Pak Nata.
Yes, please go ahead.
That's what I expect. No,
Daniel,
I think-
can be first.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
from Jordan collection from what is Dubois, because I heard there are many scraps. What is clap? Kerang. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's by Jordan. Yeah, we
Kerang
like
is also Dutch word.
Yeah, kerang is a Dutch word. Yeah, from kerang with the motif. I think it's what we call it is like it's not iseng, but it's not just work like that, but it's with purpose. We like to learn about that. So if I believe there are plenty of the kerang. So if we can have one or two samples, so we can learn, study a lot from the kerang with the scraps. Yeah.
Where are they at the moment? Are they in Naturalis, in Leiden?
I believe in Dubois Leiden, Dubois Museum. I forgot.
Off.
Yeah, go ahead, Jonathan.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm one of Ullen Sentalu Museum staff. What our director said about the Jordan's collection is in the Nature Biodiversity Museum, Mr. Yos. We believe that we have a lot of Dubois collection in the museum. So like Mr. Daniel said, that one of the collection is about an engraved shell that Jordan analyzed around a year 2010 or something like that. And perhaps that's the information by Daniel.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you. And Pak Nata, maybe
Yes,
you can answer the same question.
Yes, Pak Jos. Jos is I'm very happy to see you in this webinar. First, I have to say that we have to see what you have, and because if we are talking about maybe we are interested to have some collection from yours, so we have to see what collection, what artifact you have, and then we can see what we do not have. Yeah, so only a very rare, or if we don't have, then we can see if we can give us the list and the picture, and then we can identify maybe this one is good for us. We can use for education, what we can do, or for exhibition.
Yeah.
So the first is we have to see what you have, and then what we have too. So then we can identify what object we can get from you. So this is the first step.
In the Nusantara collection that came back to Indonesia, are there any objects that also could be in either your or in Pak Daniel's museum?
Pak Daniel and Pak Nata, do you know about the closing of Museum Nusantara in the Netherlands several years ago? Are you aware of that or not?
Several years ago, we went there together, Bu Hasti. Yeah, we get the information. We got information from the director, and then after that, we heard that I'm not so sure that it's closing. It's closed. So then they communicate with the National Museum, and then I got information that the National Museum got a lot of collection from Nusantara.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so you didn't receive anything anyway.
We didn't receive anything.
Okay, thank you. It's clear. I assume that also Museum Ullen Sentalu didn't receive anything, right, Pak Daniel?
Yes, yeah, frankly speaking, we're looking for the masterpiece. That's so generic.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
thank you. I think it's clear. Thank you very much, Jos, for your questions. Probably later you also have more questions or feedback or suggestion for Pak Daniel and Pak Nata. You are always welcome. I would like to invite other museum experts and friends from the Netherlands or from Indonesia to share your opinion or your feedback after the presentations, please. Probably Max and Petra, both of you.
Yes. Hello. Well, I was very impressed by your contributions, your lectures, Pa Dani and Pa Nata.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I have been several times to the Ullen Sentalu Museum, even to with Ibu Hasti, I think, and never to Nias, but that will come surely. So
Yes.
keep up the good work. Actually, we have two questions. Do you consider, and Nata more or less let's see a part of the solution, but do you see it as an advantage or as a disadvantage to be a private museum within Indonesia? And I ask this because I have the feeling that many private managed museums are very, very vibrant, very active, and many state or regional or provincial managed and funded museums are a bit laid back and a bit old-fashioned, and not all, I have to admit. So that is the first question. So about your position as a private museum, is it an advantage to act more or less as you do, Pa Daniel, as an entrepreneur? Or is it a disadvantage? And the second question, my wife Petra has, you asked me.
Yeah, I was wondering, isn't there a kind of association of private museums in Indonesia? So you can work together, that you can learn from each other, and that you, you're shared interest, and you have more power as an association to earn money or whatever you need, and you can share your knowledge, of course. That's my question.
Thank you very much.
Of the Museums Association, I think, of the Indonesian Museums Associations, both.
Yeah, let them to reply.
Yeah.
Please, Pa Daniel, go ahead with two questions.
Yeah, we just have what is International Museum Association seminar. It's quite success, and we work together. And last couple of weeks ago, we just have a big meeting in Bali. And we revitalize about our program after COVID, less in Indonesia. Yeah, we are very close each other, and we try to make exhibition what we call as blockbuster all together at once. Yeah, we have many dreams, and especially yesterday we just finished with the Jogja. Jogja is hyperactive. We try to make a city of museum or Jogja because the enthusiasm of the visitors and youth people in museum, and not only in Jogja, in several others, but Jogja take a leading role because it's a student city, enough with the human resources to develop some kind of research, something like that. Yeah, we are very active in the association. Max and
what's the name of the associations in Indonesia level?
AMI, Association Museum Indonesia.
Oh, AMI. Okay, so that's for private and also government museums.
Exactly.
And the first question is, being private, is it advantages or disadvantage?
Yes, of course. We have freedom of choice to work, to develop. Yeah, of course we have to follow the rule, but we have a more time and more dedicated staffs because we what is developed into like what you mentioned already, but Max says entrepreneurship, and anything must be sustainable and make it's like from ICOM start to not for profit, not it's changed. Yeah, of course we make a profit from merchandise, from the facilities like restaurant or the programs. But for the museum, yeah, of course, we also have a certain price for students and group and anything. But basically, yeah, we try to make a sustainable with merchandising, with entrepreneurship, something like that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now I remember how positive always the Indonesians, especially the Javanese, like you. Always positive. Yeah. Well, Pak Nata, please go ahead with these two questions.
Yes, we still do not have a private museum association in Indonesia. So we know actually the culture of AMI, Association of Museum Indonesia, the more member government museum. So yeah, Daniel is a big museum. Our museum is very small. So I think it will be better if we have the association of private museum, because the culture and the way how to work is different when we work with museum of government. This is clear. We are happy because we have private museum. Even it's very challenging because we have to work hard. We have to work hard. If we are government museum, we don't need to work hard because the financial is there, the money is there, the human resource is provided by government. So no challenge, no problem. Yeah, so everything is provided by state. For us, it's very challenging, but we are free, so we get the freedom to create things that we see this is important. This is important to the community. How to do it very quickly and it's in a very emergent. So if we are in government, so this is not easy because we have a very long bureaucracy and also procedures. So here in the museum, when I say, oh, we need to more like the student come here, so I directly work together with the team and talking together how to realize this one. So if we are in a museum under the government, maybe we cannot do this one because we have to communicate with the higher level and so on. So we get the advantages and also very challenging, very challenging. This is a very important for us. So if we don't work hard, if we only stay and wait what happens, so nothing happens. So don't go to the private museum. Yeah, just go to a government museum because everything is available there.
Yeah. So that's why it's amazing the spirits of the community, like you and also Pak Daniel, the community members who take initiatives. Thank you. But we also have participants from the government museums like Istana Kepresidenan. I saw in the list. So if you have different opinions, you also welcome to share your feedback. I would like also to invite Max and Petra. Are you satisfied with the answers, or would you like to give some feedbacks? Or you also can come back later before we finish. Probably you have some suggestions because you are experts and you know Indonesia very well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I would like to invite other participants, please, to share your opinion and feedbacks, because anything you say in this forum, it will be like a moral support for the speakers. Probably, Ibu Francine, probably could I invite you to say something from the ethnology museums in Leiden, or maybe other friends from Tropen museums, or Ibu Saula from the Cultural Policy Office of the Netherlands Embassy in Jakarta, please, or other participants from Indonesia also, of course, welcome, from Sumatra. Okay, Ibu Bianca, please go ahead. Probably, can you mention who you are before? Thank you.
Hi. My name is Bianca Dinkeler. I'm a PhD researcher at the University of Cambridge, and I was invited by Taman Indonesia to attend the webinar.
Yeah,
thank you.
I apologize. University of Cambridge in the US or UK?
In the UK.
In the UK. So we are in the UK. I'm also in the UK now. Okay, bye.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Daniel and Nata, for your presentation. I have a question for Pak Nata. I know that Nias is quite remote from Sumatra, and it is quite difficult to get to Nias in comparison to Java. So my question is, how do you plan to promote Nias abroad and attract foreign visitors to come to the museum?
Please go ahead, Panata.
Yeah, Bianca, thank you so much for the questions. First, the first time we do not focus on how to promote the museum. We just work and let people come here and see what we are doing and feel. And from this one, then people talk about our museum, because we do not have expert in promotion and also advertisement, public relation. We are coming from the village. We have no expert. I am coming from remote village. So we do not have a museology expert or specialist here. So we are a very simple people here from the village, and then we start talking, thinking together what we are going to do. So this is our strategy, and we don't think about the promotion. But today we have website. We are so active in website. We have Facebook. We have friends. We also get volunteer from Australia, FP, Australia, and then they help us to develop the website. So today you can also visit our website. You can see our Facebook, and also the friends of the museum who love this museum. They promote themselves. So we do not talk about our museum, but we let people talk about our museum.
Thank you.
Anata, do you have other questions, Bianca?
I have a lot of questions, but nothing related to museology at the moment. So
okay, thank you very much. I think we provide the websites of both museums in our announcement, but also Pak Daniel and Pak Nata also can put in the chat once again the address of the website, just in case. And also thank you, Pak Nata, to share your WhatsApp number and email in the chat. So for those who want to have direct contact after the webinar, they can contact you. Thank you very much, Bianca. Is there any other participants that I can invite to give your comments or feedback? Ibu Saula, are you there?
Ibu Francine. Ibu Francine.
Sorry, Pak. Ibu Francine, okay. Ibu Francine, please go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Hasti. I'm the curator for Indonesia and the National Museum for World Cultures. And thank you very much, Pa Nata and Pa Daniel, for your presentations. I have one remark and one question. The remark is following Jos, his comment of his question, well, what would you like to have from the Netherlands? And then the answer by Panata, well, we would like to know what you have. Well, then I invite you to look at our collection website, because that is rather well opened up now. And well, if you probably know, we have a huge collection of Nias, and you can find those objects more or less complete on our collection website. But we can share notes, and I can give you the way to look at that. I was just curious by what one of you two said, that the Museum Nacional was in the process of being privatized. I'm curious about that. And also, is that then also applying to other government museums, the provincial museums or the other government museums? And will there then be no difference so much anymore between the private museums and the government museums? What is the future there then?
Okay, Pak Daniel and Pak Nata, before you answer, I probably jump into because this is the questions that can be answered actually by Museum Nasional.
Yeah.
Although I have to say that all the museum professionals in Indonesia know about this. And then actually we planned for the coming webinars to ask Museum Nasional to talk about this. But Pak Daniel and Pak Nata as museum professionals, please give your brief reply to this about badan layanan usaha or privatizations. Thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, me
Give
first,
your
yeah, Pak
comment.
Nata. Yeah, it's a badan layanan usaha right now. Yeah, it's translated like privatization, but actually still in the government. But I believe it's in the practice is more open with the new expert, not all from Museum Nasional. Ibu Sri Hartini, the director now, make a very big plan, ambitious plan, and we really want to support that because not only Museum Nasional, Museum Frederiksberg in Jogja also on the way to BLU, and I believe 3 or 4 the museum state museum become BLU is like privatization. Yeah, I hope this answer the question, Ibu Francine. Not really private, but it's the new management, not like the old management, something like that. Yeah.
Pak Nata, do you have a comment about this?
Frankly speaking, I have no comment about this because I don't know what it will be.
Okay. Together with Renward Academy and Ministry of Education and Culture, both sides of Indonesia and Netherlands, and the Netherlands Embassy in Jakarta, we've been organizing capacity building training for 85 museums so far since 2018. And Museum Nasional is one of the active participants. By the way, Max Meyer was also involved as one of the resource persons. So actually the positions of government museums as badan layanan usaha or the profit is not privatizations 100%, but they have authority to generate income. So it's a more or less like what happened in museums in the Netherlands, that they cannot rely 100% to the government subsidy. They have to start to think about how to generate their own income. So that is the meaning of the BLU. Thank you, Ibu Francine. And Pak Nata, I think one of your colleagues, Ibu Francine, has put the address in the chat for you about the Nias collections, Ibu Francine.
Yeah, maybe
my colleague has done that. My colleague Marjolein van Astonk, who's also the curator for Indonesia, she has done that.
Yes, thank you. Marjolein, it would be nice to introduce yourself also, because it is a very golden opportunity. Who knows that you are going to see one day. At least if you are willing to do so, you don't have to. Anyway. No? Okay.
No, if it's let me see. I put my camera on, but I can't see if I'm on. So my name is Marjolein van Astonk, and I'm a junior curator in Indonesia since 1st of February of this year. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Marjolein, to join. Pak Daniel, Pak Nata, so your new network, if you come to the Netherlands. And Marjolein and Francine share office in Leiden or in Amsterdam. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Marjolein.
We really hope that you can come again to Netherlands one day soon. Okay. And then Ibu Saula, may I invite you to give for you to give comment or feedbacks or suggestions for Pak Daniel and Pak Nata after you listen to the presentations, please. Ibu Saula Supit is the cultural policy officers of the Netherlands Embassy in Jakarta.
Yeah,
Thank you, Hasti. Good day to everyone. I've listened to the presentations with a lot of interest. I must applaud the passion and the effort you put into this this preservation of heritage. Yeah, it's really wonderful work that you're doing. I've had the privilege to visit the Ullen Sentalu Museum several years ago. I liked it very much. The story of Princess Nurul is still with me today, and I really liked the storytelling, not only of the ladies of the Kraton, but also the philosophy of the whole building. And the meanings of the certain structures, and yeah, I look forward to coming there again. I think will need several times for me to absorb everything that you offer there. I unfortunately haven't had the pleasure to come to Nias yet, but if I do come to Nias, I will most certainly visit the Nias Museum.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pandemic is nearly finished.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, for Ibu Saula and all participants, if you visit the Museum Pusaka Nias, they also provide accommodations in the traditional house of Nias. I have stayed there when I visited Nias. Oh, it's amazing experience. It's you should I think. And Pak Nata, how accessible Nias now in Indonesia?
Today,
I mean, how many flights? How many boats?
Now we have 4 flights from Medan. 2 years ago, actually, we have direct flight from Jakarta to Nias to Jakarta, Gunung Sitoli to Jakarta. But then stopped during the pandemic. We don't know if they will try to operate the direct flight again from Jakarta to Gunung Sitoli. Today stopped, but from Medan to Gunung Sitoli now 4 flights every day.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we look forward. Yeah, because it's an experience. Yeah. Please, I see comments from Leah Sumichan. I apologize if I don't pronounce your name correctly. It would be nice to hear you directly, Leah Sumichan. Would you like to say directly to the speakers, please?
Oh, hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the presentation, Pak Daniel and Pak Nata. Answering Bianca's question. So last year we were in the middle of conducting a conservation internship program supported by the Australia Global Alumni. So it's the alumni grant scheme. So we conducted a conservation internship in Bali, and one of the interns actually worked at Museum Pusaka Nias. His name is Mario, if Mr. Nata knows him. So Mario was in the middle of preparing for the virtual exhibition. So that's how we found out about the exhibition. But that was last year.
I can answer directly, or
yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Mario is Nias people who did the internship here from University of Indonesia, and this is also my strategy to find let's say the interest of young generation. And at the time when he come here, I try to find what expertise he has, because I know that he is from museology and archaeology, and I talk very serious to him what another expertise he has. That then he said, "Oh, I'm good in making this one and this one," and then try to talk about how about the virtual exhibition. And you have opinion about the virtual exhibition. I give him example, and I said I can try. I have the application, and then I can try. And I trust this task to him, just do whatever you do, and then I will see, I will accompany you, and then try to make the virtual exhibition that we can offer to the visitor of the museum of Nias Heritage Museum lovers, because they cannot come to the museum, then we can open. And last year we tried to open this one, and this is only for special time, for example, for the birthday of the museum, or we try to see also the time where the people need to reach the museum because they don't have time. So not anytime we open this virtual exhibition, because our focus is people should come to the museum because we are private museum. You know, when they come to the museum, they can pay the entrance fee. They can also buy in the cafe. They can buy some souvenir. They can. This is our strategy also as a private museum, because if we don't do this one, so we will not be alive. So this is we provide also the virtual to reach out our friends, to reach out the lovers, but not anytime, because then when all the collection is there, so people will not come again.
Yeah. Well, I think I will trigger the participants with these very quick questions. How is your experience with illegal trafficking of Nias artifacts? Is that a difficult question?
It's very difficult because it's very also difficult to detect what the actor behind. We see, but we cannot stop.
No.
We see, we cannot stop.
But I think that's why the museum was established actually
Because
to slow down the process.
Yes, to slow down the process, and then to make the people realize, aware that if they are here in Nias, and then they still can learn about themselves in the island of Nias. It's very difficult to go to learn about themselves in Netherlands. How costly? What costly? If I should go to learn my ancestor, to learn our local wisdom in Netherlands, so that's better to stay, leave it here, and the people can reach, our children can come and can see what they are. So this is about the identity. So that is now how to make the local people understand the meaning of the cultural objects. Should stay here, should live here in the island of Nias.
Okay, thank you very much. But I think that is in the Nias context is that's what happened, right? We see a lot of Nias artifacts here in Europe. Yeah. Okay. I have questions for Pak Daniel and Pak Nata. You can think of that. What if are there opportunities to cooperate with the Netherlands? What are your expectations? And for the time being, while you are thinking about that, I would like to say to the participants that the presentations, films, PowerPoints are in the Google class. I believe that Wiwi Ciok, the volunteers from Indonesia diaspora, has put the address of Google Class, which you can download the PowerPoint and the films. And now come back to you, Pak Daniel. What are your expectations? If you can cooperate, if you could cooperate with the Netherlands in terms of expertise or whatever.
Yeah, as Jonathan, my team mentioned about Jordan, cell. I'm still looking for the news or pay bill, but at that time maybe not pay bill. Yeah, it's during Eugene Dubois' first exhibition about Java Man. I tried to ask a British museum, because the exhibition in British museum Yeah, I asked Alexander Green, Ibu Alexander over there, but still not found it. Maybe if Bianca or Pak Yos or Ibu Francine can help, or Pak Max, the evidence that the first showcase of the discovery of Pithecanthropus, that everybody think that the ancestor from Java at that time, later on, yeah, from out of Africa, something like that, the theory. But the first one is Eugene Dubois make exhibition is in British Museum about the missing link. That's really incredible. Until now, I cannot find the Brita, the news, or the
archives.
The archive, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
If you can help that, I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Probably it's also useful to mention that one of the staff of Museum Ullen Sentalu, Jonathan, has joined training in Netherlands, I think 2 years ago, about contested heritage. Jonathan, could you please quickly introduce yourself and mention about your experience by joining the contested heritage training, because I think that's very contextual in relation with cooperations Indonesia-Netherlands. Please.
Hello there, my name is Jonathan. Yes, like Mrs. Hasi said, that I joined the training. The title of training is contested sharing stories on the contested history in Netherlands, and in the training we learn how to, we know that history is very contested, that each like the Dutch and like the Indonesian has their own version of history, and because of that we need to learn how to manage to present both stories to have like the whole story, not just one side. In the training, we learn a lot about how we deal with the contested stories, and also how we create like an empathical way to create exhibition, something like that. And it is a very good start, I think, to have like that kind of relationship between Indonesia and Dutch. I think.
Yeah. A quick questions for you, Jonathan. How did you apply what you have learned from that training in your museums, or how did the training help you as a museum professionals to understand the whole context of history of both countries?
Yeah, one thing that I actually learned about the contested histories between Indonesia and the Dutch is that not all the Dutch people, not all the Dutch understand what happened in the past between Dutch and Indonesia, and that thing it makes us quite surprised, because in Indonesia we learned that I think all of the Indonesians know about the history between Indonesia and Netherlands. But when I went to Netherlands and asked several of the people in Netherlands, not all of them know about the history. Or in that time, we know that the golden age era that the Dutch people is the golden age era, and because of that, we think in the museum that we need to bring up the history of the past in Indonesia more to the people, especially for the international visitors, that we also have like the context history between Indonesia and Dutch. And of course, based from the training, I learned a lot of techniques to deal with, to how to create like a more engaging tour, something like that. The techniques is we put the techniques, especially back when Miss Asti also created I joined two of the class in Indonesia, in Semarang and Malang. Both of them made me to know a lot of techniques to create a great tour.
Yes,
I think that.
Thank you. You're very important. You are very important because you represent the younger generations of Indonesia about this. And I think Pak Yos Burden would like to have your email address in the chat. Please react to that. And Pak Nata, if you want to send your staff to the same training this year, the registrations is open. I don't know if Max or other friends from the Netherlands can share the link for registrations or send directly to Pak Nata, but you also can find the registration link on the social media of the cultural heritage of the Agency of the Netherlands or Renwald Academy, or probably Max, could you help, please? Yes. I'm okay, and Max also has a questions for you, Panata, whether you have cooperations with Museum Sangniran in Java. Is that for Pak Nata or for Pak Dan, Max?
Yeah, I answered already.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes, I was thinking about Pa Widianto, because he made already 3 museums there. So one in Jogja could be possible, I think. So
yeah,
a lot of success with that project. And of course, also the people at the Naturalis in Leiden are much involved, because they cure for part of the collection of the Java legacy, Javaman legacy, as it is brought to the Netherlands. But Jos knows everything about that.
Yeah, we try to reconstruct the legacy of Eugene Dubois. That's really incredible. It's not all out of Africa theory. The multi-regionalism is more now is vivid, true, because Pak Ari found many old fossils.
That's right.
Still 40%, 60% still uncovered, and we like to work together and to bring up what Eugene Dubois, Koningswald work left the legacy for us.
Thank you, Pak Daniel. Well, we still have a few minutes. The last request from the participants from Sigit, who would like to say something. Please, could you briefly share with us, Pak Sigit, or I think Pak Sigit, from which institutions are you? Could you introduce yourself, please, Pak Sigit?
My name is Sigit. I'm from Istana Kepresidenan Yogyakarta.
Oh.
But I want to share some experience, but generally, I'm very interesting about the question from Mr. Max Mayer about advantage and disadvantage about private or community. So I will divide museum in Indonesia into 3 categories. The first is private and government and communities, and the last is communities. Each museum in Indonesia have some advantage and disadvantage. I will divide into 5 category. About the first, about the budget. Of course, in private museum, we have a limited budget, but of course in communities museum is limited budget too. But in government, we have a lot of money. So we can develop more. But the disadvantage about a government institution or government museum is we have a lot of roles, so we can develop very dynamically, like a topic. In the private museum, we can create the topic is very dynamically, and of course in communities museum too. But in a government museum, it will be very difficult, because some topic is very very sensitive, like if we want to bring a story about G30 SPKI, and that's very sensitive because that's our black stories, Indonesian black stories. And another parameter is like a staff. In private museums, it's if you lack of staff, it's will be a very problem. For example, Indonesia, when the COVID-19 attack, some museum must close and they must reduce their staff. But in a government museum, it's always available.
Yes.
So it's a different.
Could you speed up, Pak Sigit? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I want to share about the condition, the museum condition, and very the dynamic condition of museum in Indonesia.
Thank you. We really appreciate it, and we also really appreciate that you joined the webinar. It's a very important museums, Istana Kepresidenan. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I want to add some topic, some experience too. In Yogyakarta, we have a communication forum for the museum in Yogyakarta. This community aims to be a place for sharing, and the members not only for private museum, but also from a government and communities museum too. So we have a place to share. So one museum and the other museum in Yogyakarta can develop together.
Yeah. So it's very good. I think it's examples for other parts of Indonesia to have local platforms for all museums, whether government or private. Thank you very much, Pak Sigit. And I would like, on behalf of all organizations, I would like to appreciate all the speakers. Ibu Wiwi probably could share the certificates. Okay, while Wiwi Chiok is preparing the certificates for the speakers. Okay, thank you, Pak Daniel, for your time, energy to share with us. This is what we can share with you, the electronic certificates. Thank you very much, Pak Daniel Haryodiningrat. Well, I can clap from London here. And the second certificate is for Pak Nata. Thank you very much, Pak Nata.
Thank you so much.
I know you are very busy, and I also probably also for all the participants. Good to know that Pak Nata, we can condolence his situations because he lost two mothers in 1 week. His own mother and his mother-in-law in 1 week. And so he is now still in the, but Pak Nata doesn't show his personal situation. He's always enthusiastic to share with us, always enthusiastic with a high spirit. So thank you once again, Pak.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And to all speakers and participants, please exchange your contact numbers, emails, and please continue the discussions because that's the intentions of this webinar. We have a small number of participants, but the people who are really care with all their heart to do their work and also to enhance cooperations between Indonesia and the Netherlands. So also for Pak Sigit, for example, if you would like to share your email address, please go ahead here. The Netherlands, in the Netherlands, we do by emails, not only WhatsApp, Pak Sigit. Okay, yeah. Pak Nata also and Pak Daniel. And thank you very much for all the participants for your time and for your participations. And I think because a lot of sympathy for Pak Nata, I would like us to have silent moments for maybe a half minute to pray for your mother and for your mother-in-law. Please pray together. Thank you very much. Hopefully that you and your family are strong and with a lot of patience in these situations, Pak Nata. Thank you once again. And in July and August, we will have a summer break.
Lagi berdoa tadi untuk.
Yeah, in July and August we will have summer break, and then in September we come back with the new series. And I think before we finish, please, for those who wants to show up with all videos, with the videos, with the cameras, I mean, so we can make a picture together for a special moment. Yes.
Bu Hasti, I want to say thank you very much for all people here who show empathy for us. I am accompanied by my wife because we are still in the very sad situation. So thank you so much because you show empathy for my mother and my mother-in-law. We love them so much, but we have to forget because
thank you. And it's amazing how strong you are to lose two mothers in 1 week. Thank you.
1 week, yeah.
Thank you.
Togetherness. Togetherness.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Sama-sama. Pak Daniel, would you like to say something before we say goodbye?
Thank you for warm gathering. Yeah, I never tired to have a gathering like that. And no matter how many numbers, because I saw every enthusiasm of you. So please keep going, Ibu Wiwi and Ibu Hasti. If I can be support, I like to support. Thank you.
And also please keep in touch with all of us. Thank you. And probably